World History 9. Here's your homework. A2, you've got a little bit more than A1, but all of you, there's a little chart. All right, I made these questions for you. They're about Islam. Now, we've been studying all these ancient ones. We can't leave this last major world religion out. So, once we finish with that one, we're done with the world's major religions, right? And we move into closer to the modern age. So it's important that you get this because Islam is going to be clashing with Christianity soon and with Hinduism because it's right between both of them. So, and it's also really important in today's world, obviously. So, and it's kind of cool. I hope you'll agree when you read this, right? You've got the other ones in your mind, so you can actually compare. It's interesting. I think you'll be surprised about Islam, honestly. So, yeah, so I do expect you to, as this says, give me at least 2 details for each bullet point. Let's call it each question under each theme, all right? And let me delete this because I deleted that for you so that you didn't have to do it, all right? So I'm not going to go over it, but I'm just telling you, here are your questions. There are some good ones. And so what are you doing these questions based on? And notice the ideas and beliefs, that's the religion, and so that's going to be where we, again, for a comparative paragraph, it's going to be a useful thing for you to be able to do. I ask a lot of questions here that, that are interesting, all right? Comparing Islam to Christianity and to Hinduism and to Confucianism and such is, again, it's pretty surprising. So, that's that. Now, what's your reading? I know that I said, I know that I said that you will be using that flow of history thing, except they're not very good on Islam. So, guess what? We're back to our old buddy, World History, Patterns of Interaction. Now, I want you to see that I did send to you an annotated copy of the chapter on Islam. And so I want you to realize that I did make these annotations. This textbook is kind of boring, but it does have nice pictures, doesn't it? So I am highlighting things, as you can see, right, that are, you don't want to be dumb, you don't want to like go into adulthood. For all you know, it's the only time you'll ever study Islam. So you don't want to go into adulthood clueless about it. So these little boxes over here, these are mine. Hey, remember Ishmael and Hagar? When Abraham did that thing in that tent with that girl, and then his wife came out miraculously pregnant later. So here we are, we're back to it. Back to the religions of Abraham. On and on. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty interesting. Remember that rock that Abraham sacrificed his kid on, and then the Romans came and they tore down that temple, and then the Muslims came in and they built this building on top of it. The most controversial piece of real estate in the world. Well, there it is. It's kind of cool. So, go through it, answer the questions, and again, just notice I'm highlighting stuff that I will expect you to be awake for. Let me highlight this one too. I'm going to do it right in front of your very eyes. Caliph, really important, because what's a caliphate? Yep. This one's hugely important, so pay attention to this. The Sunnis and the Shiites. Shia is the branch in this schism. They're called Shiites, do not be naughty. It's S-H-I apostrophe I-T-E. Those are believers in Shia Islam. The Abbasids are one of my coolest, favorite civilizations in ancient history. They did really cool stuff. So that's Baghdad, Iraq today. Really amazing, actually. I'll just tell you guys, Europe looks backwards compared to Islam. The Roman Empire looks backwards compared to the Abbasid, or the Abbasid Caliphate. So there's their social classes, interesting stuff now. When you compare that to the Christians versus the Greco-Roman pagans, when you compare that to the Aryans versus the non-Aryans, the Buddhists, all this stuff, right? It's interesting stuff. So if it's not highlighted, skim. If it is highlighted, slow down. This House of Wisdom thing is cool points for Islam. Cool points for the Abbasid Caliphate. quite an impressive civilization, that. And so I guess I will, and they got beautiful art, and this is really cool if you actually slow down and notice it. Why don't we have any pictures of people or animals in any of this? And how do clever artists get around that? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Islamic architecture. And after the Romans burned all of the Greek and Roman paganism books and philosophy, when they burned that, when Theodosius made Christianity the only legal thing and said that all the other stuff was the tool of the devil, they burned all of Greek philosophy. Guess who saved it for us? The Muslims. They had a different view. So, of course, you can ignore that stuff, but I just want to point out to you that these visual summaries here at the textbook chapter ends, they're pretty helpful. Notice a little timeline here, right? So there's your basic periodization of the Umayyad Caliphate, the Abbasid Caliphate, and then the Muslims in Spain, and yada yada, right? Anything else worth looking at? This is kind of cool. Again, if you're just interested. What I found most interesting was, oh, never mind. Okay, bye-bye. That's due next time.